Tonight on News 5 Live, a deadly house fire on Gibnut Street claims the life of an employee at Pow's Meat Pie. The first Senate meeting for the new year is held. We'll tell you what took place in the upper house today regarding the standing orders. The media sits down with the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs for an update on the contentious Maya customary land tenure policy. And Quality Poultry opens a new restaurant in San Ignacio. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
These are the facts. 3,300 persons were trained in customer service, food and beverage management, safety and security, business management, tour guiding, tour specialization, and packaging in 2022 and 2023. The first ever tour guiding license clinic launched in 2023, with 693 licenses issued in 9 destinations. Currently, we have a total of 2,271 tour guides and 320 tour operators. There's been major infrastructural development across the country, including the total transformation of the Berger Field, the Fort George Tourism Zone, Constitution Park, music studios in Belize City and Orange Walk, and many other community development projects. The work by this government since 2020 is changing lives. More tourism means more jobs, more business, more opportunities. We are building a stronger nation. Let them know.
Tell them we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, February 8th. I am Sabrina Daly. A well-known employee of Pow's Meat Pie here in Belize City lost his life overnight when the building he was renting on Gibnut Street went up in flames. The incident happened shortly before the blackout on Wednesday night. Philip Catus had just returned home and was talking to his landlady about lighting a candle inside his apartment before turning in for the night. Before long, the wooden structure was engulfed in flames, and when the fire was extinguished, firemen discovered his charred remains among the debris. Here's News 5's Isani Katana with our first story.
A house fire in Belize City on Wednesday night claimed the life of 51-year-old Philip Catus, otherwise known as Cutty, who was renting an apartment on Gibnut Street. The deadly blaze also destroyed several wooden structures on the property, leaving other tenants displaced in the wake of the incident. The landlady was inside her home, a concrete bungalow adjacent to the rooms, when she was alerted to the fire next door. Distraught from what she experienced, the elderly woman spoke with News 5 off camera.
He came home. Looked like he was vexed, was railing up, cussing up and thing, and I came out and I asked him what he's railing up for, right? So he said he's trying to light a candle. So I tell her, no light no candle. He said, when I live here in this house, he said I never light no candle. He said, I just try light one candle. And I tell her, no light the candle. He said, yes, he still and try light the candle, and I made give him one light, one charging light, right? And he said, he know what that.
According to the property owner, Catus then retired to his room. It wasn't until she heard a shuffling from the neighboring apartment that she came out to inquire.
I came in thinking he was going to out the candle, right? I came in and I lay down a little bit and like I hear, like movements out here, like, so when I came out, I saw the door open and it was like, it looked like he made try open the door. He couldn't get out, so he made try open the door, but when I see that, I say, well, he must come out. I see the door open, but after that, I never seen again, So I couldn't believe that he made in the, set trap in the fire,
Catus recently relocated to that apartment in December of last year and befriended his landlady and her children. The overnight fire completely damaged the wooden structure. The National Fire Service responded to the call and proceeded to extinguish the fire.
Tragedy struck last night when Mr. Philip Katus, 51-year-old, died as a result of a fire. A very unfortunate scenario went down last night whereby it left neighbors, it left the fire department baffled as to try and figure out exactly what Mr. Katus could have done to cause his little cabin, his little palace to be up in flame, claiming his life. What we gathered, we know that the 14 by 24 structure that was divided into three 8-foot compartments, Mr. Katus occupied the first of the two structures. That was where the fire started.
This afternoon, Station Supervisor Kenneth Mortis told News 5 that the fire began shortly before the blackout that blanketed the city last night.
We know that the fire actually occurred before the shortage of electricity happened. That was roughly 2 minutes to 11. He had retired from work, and after probably socializing, having some beverages, he probably had one too many, whereby it was reported that he was using a candle as a means of light, and somehow he apparently fell asleep with this candle burning. The curtain got a whiff of the flame and consumed the structure, thus causing fire damage to the three apartment complex, the neighboring structure in the yard, and of course took his life.
Katus's landlady, who is disabled, recounts having to evacuate her children from the family home as the fire consumed the apartment building.
It was last night. I had to tend to my two granddaughter, take them out of the house and try get them to somewhere safety, you know. Because one of them 8 years old and one is 6 years old. And only me and them was in the house, in my house. So I was trying to get us to safety, you know.
That must have been a frightening experience, right?
Yes, very. Because I never been through this experience before, you know. Yeah.
How are you dealing with it, knowing that your tenant lost his life?
I can't take it. I cannot take it. My head is hurting. I couldn't even sleep. My heart pained me. I'm very nervous right now.
Philip Katus was well known from his job with Paul's Meat Pie here in Belize City. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Last week, Senator Michael Parafit publicly criticized the Briceño administration for what he interpreted as a breach of the Senate's standing orders. Today, Carolyn Trench Sandiford, the president of the Senate, announced her position on the matter. As we reported, Senator Parafit contended that the standing orders stipulate that the lead senator for government business must be a minister. Senator Eamon Courtney remains the lead senator for government business in spite of his recent resignation as a government minister. President Sandiford sought the legal opinion of Attorney General Anthony Sylvester. That opinion was made public on Wednesday. And this morning, the president of the Senate leaned on the AG's legal opinion to state her position.
In ruling on the matter, I requested a legal opinion from the Honorable Anthony Sylvester, the Attorney General and Principal Legal Advisor to the Government of Belize, by virtue of Section 42 of the Belize Constitution. Based on his advice and my own considerations, I am satisfied: A, that there is no need for the leader of government business in the Senate to be a minister or member of cabinet. B, the standing orders make a clear distinction between a minister and a senator in charge of government business. And C, bills, motions, petitions, resolutions, or papers may be presented by the senator in charge of government business and considered by the Senate, even where such senator is not a minister.
Following today's Senate meeting, we asked UDP Senator Michael Parafit if he agrees with the Attorney General and the President of the Senate's position on his legal query about having a lead senator for government business who is not a minister. As would be expected, Senator Perfeet says he disagrees with the AG's legal opinion. Notwithstanding the opposing legal position, Senator Perfeet and a full complement of UDP senators were present at today's sitting.
Well, I don't agree with the legal opinion, nor the president's position, but that's her ruling. And I respect the institution, so I will respect the ruling. But the party reserves the right to see whatever steps it will take from here on out after consideration concerning the issue. So I want to leave it at that. I wrote to her, she wrote me back. I respect her for writing me back and answering me, unlike the Prime Minister who doesn't answer me. She wrote me back and gave me her answer. Now we will look at it as a party and determine where we go from here. But I don't agree with it.
Your thoughts on the Prime Minister's response to your concerns?
Well, I spoke on that already. I said bad precedent doesn't make good law. Not because you did something a while ago that was not correct and it was not checked nor corrected means that if you do it now, it can't be wrong. I mean, I still stand by my opinion that the leader of government business has to be a minister, but the president has ruled that way, and the opinion of the AG is kind of incorrect in terms of some factual things that they claim to be facts. That's just not correct as it relates to Fred Martinez and Dickie Bradley. But, like I said, the matter will be presented to the party, and the party will determine where it wants to go from here.
And we also heard from Eamon Courtney, the lead senator for government business. He explained how he is able to function in his role as a senator after resigning as a government minister. Senator Courtney did not wish to discuss his resignation. He noted, however, that the Prime Minister has already spoken on the matter. Nonetheless, he confirmed that he maintains cabinet privileges as a result of his position in the Senate.
As usual, whenever Mike Perfeet raises anything, you know it's mischief. He either misinforms himself or fails to understand. Even when it was pointed out to him that the standing order that he was referring to is inapplicable, he still persisted in writing the president. It served an opportunity, one, for the Senate to get advice from the Attorney General on the legal position. The legal position is very clear. The standing orders makes a distinction between ministers on the one hand and the leader of government business on the other hand. There is no requirement that the leader of government business be a minister or be a member of cabinet. That is very clear from the standing orders, and the president explained all of that this morning. Secondly, as I have said, Fred Martinez, Doug Singh, same position. We're not in cabinet, and they were leader of government business. So there is nothing new about this happening. It's just the usual mischief from Mike.
Outside of your ministerial position now, how do you become informed or aware of the government's intentions or cabinet's intentions behind a bill, behind a motion, behind a proposal?
Right. So that is why in the press release, when the Prime Minister announced my resignation, they used the phrase cabinet privilege. The tradition and convention, well established, as happened with others, is that the leader of government business is invited to cabinet when there is major legislation being debated, discussed in cabinet, so that you can know that when it comes to the Senate, what the government thinking is. Since the end of December when I left the cabinet, I have not been to a single cabinet meeting because there has not been any major legislation that my presence needs to be there so that I can participate in the debate and understand it. But the idea is, whenever there is a major piece of legislation, I will be invited to cabinet, and assuming that I can make it, I will attend to make sure that I understand what government's policy is behind the legislation.
Coming up, Senate debates amendment to Criminal Code Act. We'll have more details when we come back.
The way the PUPs are boasting and rushing to open the new Hallover Bridge, one would think they masterminded it. But it was the UDP government that conceived, designed and secured financing for the new bridge and repaving of the entire Philip Colson Highway that is currently underway.
Next month, I signed the OFID loan for the Hallover Bridge replacement. And this will top off the ongoing highway upgrading between Belize cities, Buttonwood Boulevard and the PGIA junction. And going in the opposite direction, there is funding from the UK via CDB for rehabilitation of the Philip Golson Highway right through to the northern border and including the Ramate Road.
Other UDP projects which the PUP have tried to claim credit for include the new Roaring Creek Bridge, which was already completed when they took office, and the Coastal Highway paving, completed last year, both of which they proudly cut ribbon for. Then there is the upgrading and paving of Caracal Road and the Sartaneja Road, with bridges replacing ferries, projects that are both nearing completion. It's amazing how the PUP politicians who told us we can't eat streets and highways have now fallen so much in love with UDP infrastructure projects. Belizeans, it is time to return to the party led by the true architects of transformation. Belize is always better with the United Democratic Party.
Good morning, students. Welcome to the Belize Hurricanes Academy Class 101. My name is Professor Cut 5. Now, in last week's class, it seems that the Tiger Shark students did not learn anything from last year. I'm hoping in this week's edition that the Orange Walk Running Rebels bring their notepad. Class is now in session.
They're playing basketball.
This Friday, February 9, the Belize Civic Center will be jumping once again as your three-time and defending champion of the BEBL, Belize Hurricanes, led by their sizzling six, Lindsay Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Tyree Orozco, Jamel Harris, the African Burama Sidibe, and the three-point boss, Amar Ross, goes up against the Orange Walk Running Rebels, who have been talking smack lately. And it's time that the three-time champion Belize Hurricanes
All on the floor.
gates open at 7 p.m. Entertainment commences from 8 with the Minorite Band, and then at 9 p.m. it's the Hurricanes versus Running Rebels.
One team, one big family.
Bring out the entire family this Friday night to the Belize Civic Center as your defending champion, Belize Hurricane, takes center stage. Hey, primary and high schoolers, don't forget to bring out your posters and banners for the $1,000 competition. Then, of course, there's the Hopkins Hamanasi Resort First 5 contest for firms, family, and friends, valued at $5,000.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Yeah. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big.
So what have they been doing for 3 years? Point to me one project that they have done in San Pedro.
Yeah, boy.
Year 1 from DFC, San Pedrito, San Mateo, the upgrading of our streets, the filling of new materials and compacting.
Show me a road, a bridge, any project that the PUP has started and finished, or even just started.
Here I come.
We started and completed a brand new bridge for our lovely people of La Isla Bonita.
Nice. Nothing. That's the problem.
Stop it. Get some help.
By year 2, we were already buying new trucks to make it easier for our sanitation workers. We're starting by equipment and buying more equipment to upgrade the street for our people. Paving it forward began in year 2 and it continues every day.
Because they have done nothing in the 3 years. They have done nothing.
Everything is better electric. Be more efficient with electric vehicles and transforming your home with Energy Star electric appliances and power tools. This helps to create a greener and cleaner world for the next generation. Energize your world with BL.
our school have been doing aggressive recruitment for some time. But since the Educational Upliftment Program, the incentives given by the ministry are motivational factors for students to come to Gwen Liz. Retention is was also a problem, keeping our students at school. But since this program came on board, students are not dropping out as fast due to the feeding program and the free tuition and all of those things. The grades from the students have also increased. To date, we are doing first semester, and I've seen over 150 students. If you pass the building outside, you will see 150 students on a wall not failing any subject, and that is a wonderful thing for us.
Well, my name is Ismail Florian. I work at Caribbean Sprinter. I'm the station manager for Keycocker. I downloaded Digi Wallet since at work we use it, and my boss actually was the one that told me to download Digi Wallet. I use it every week, especially to buy top-up and now and then to buy groceries. Live for Free is going to help me with everything since I'm not having to pay anything for 1 year. Well, I chose Mr. Valencia Tool. I chose him as my person to pay it forward to. I really chose him because back in the day he used to help me out, so I'm just trying to help back our friend.
Do you want a chance to live for free like me? Just download and use the Digi Wallet app. Thank you, Digi.
In its Plan Belize agenda, the PUP committed to enhance access to education and health in Belize. Through the Social Investment Fund, this government has already constructed the Maria Crawford Health Center in Crooked Tree, the Keycocker Health Center, the Belmopan Polyclinic, the Crooked Tree Preschool, the Santa Martha Preschool, and the Calcutta Pre and Primary School. We have upgraded the Crooked Tree Primary School and have built new school buildings for the Louisiana Government School and Orange Walk Technical High School. That is real progress and real commitment. We are working to build Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
This morning, representatives of various media houses met for breakfast with the Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs and her senior staff, including CEOs Adele Katsim and Marconi Leal Jr. Also present was Senior Counsel Andrew Marshallek and Assistant Solicitor General Samantha Matute Tucker on behalf of the Office of the Attorney General. The purpose of the breakfast meeting was for the government of Belize to provide an update on where it is in respect of the draft Maya customary land tenure policy. Following a demand by the collective Maya communities that government consults with them in their respective villages, Minister Dolores Balderramos Garcia announced today that they will be visiting all 41 indigenous communities to meet with villagers regarding the draft policy. She also explained that the Office of Indigenous Peoples Affairs had already scheduled a public consultation in Punta Gorda town prior to the mass gathering in Santa Elena on January 27th.
Yes, we do intend, it will set back the process, as Senior Counsel has said, but we do intend to reach out in going back to the villages, because I think that in responding to the political reality, because there is pressure, Senior Counsel can and Samantha can speak to the legal aspects. I have to try to address the political reality. We do intend to go back to as many villages as we possibly can, even if we have to bring some of them together. But I want to clarify a misconception that the government was not responsive to the call of the people to visit their villages when we held the latest consultations in January. Those consultations were planned well in advance. The latest iteration of the policy was shared from early December. What basically happened is that the plans for the consultation that Saturday and Sunday were already in place long before, when all of a sudden, a few letters started to come into the Office of Indigenous Peoples Affairs in Punta Gorda saying, "We know the Conda PG, we want you to come to Santa Elena." And clearly, it was not a situation that the government could have responded to in any kind of responsible approach. Because well, I don't want to use the word capitulated, but had we said, okay, we'll go to Santa Elena, we would have met 20 busloads of people with placards that had been prepared for them, saying, remember, you have to come back to us for your vote, turning the entire situation completely political.
The controversial provisional document put forward by the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs has been met with cold water by the wider Maya community, with one alcalde openly trashing the draft land tenure policy. With the government of Belize on one side of the divisive issue and the Toledo Alcaldes Association / Maya Leaders Alliance on the other side, are the masses of residents in Toledo District properly informed of what's taking place? That's what we asked Senior Counsel Andrew Marshalek earlier today.
I see certain Mayan villages claiming interest to land, that third parties and other Mayan villages and other Belizean villages also claim interest to that space. And I see everybody looking to the government to find a solution to that problem. I don't see it as a race for popularity as between MLA and TAA and the government. The government must act responsibly and has a responsibility to each and every one of those persons who will be affected, including the Maya people. And there are, as I've repeatedly said, we acknowledge that there is a historical moral imperative to correct certain wrongs, to try to correct certain wrongs done to the Maya people. That is so. We accept that. But in correcting those wrongs, we can create another one. There are other interests in that space, and everybody's has to be considered fairly. The history is one thing, yes, but what exists today on the ground is what we must look to and try to resolve. Now, it's fundamentally untrue to say you're being confined to 1 kilometer. First off, and you will recognize this right away, a 1 kilometer radius means the actual diameter is 2 kilometers. It's not one. So from outer boundary to the outer boundary is 2 kilometers. From the center to the outer boundary is 1. What has been described is a radius. So when you hear language like that I'm being confined to 1 kilometer, I'm being corralling the Maya people like hogs and all of that, that's designed to inflame. It's not designed to paint a correct picture of what it is. Well, this is why I'm trying to address it. But I'm trying to address it in fairly neutral terms because I don't want to engage in any inflammatory back and forth on it. So first off, recognize that what has been stated is a radius. It's not the diameter. The diameter is actually 2 times the radius.
At the adjournment of today's Senate meeting, we asked Senator Michael Parafit if he has received a response from the Prime Minister. As we have reported, Parafit wrote to Prime Minister John Bersenio requesting further details on the government's reacquisition of the Port of Belize Limited. Senator Parafit requested the names of any private individuals that the government may have contracted to aid in the process. He also requested information on how much they were paid from the public coffers. Here's what Parafit told us.
In short, no, he has not responded. Or he hasn't gotten it to me. I've checked my email, I've checked my PO box, I've checked everywhere, the National Assembly, there's no letter here from me. But it would not be surprising if he does not respond. He has a tendency to not respond to legitimate questions from the people, answers that he should give and should be fairly easy to give. I don't see what's the difficulty there. I don't expect him to respond because he doesn't respect the law. He hasn't responded to my last 3 or 4 questions, which indicates that he doesn't care. He doesn't feel like he needs to uphold the law or respect the law. So we will see what happens.
Inside the National Assembly chamber, senators debated amendments to the Criminal Code and Summary Jurisdiction Acts. The proposed amendments seek to increase jail time for individuals who interfere with the workflow of law enforcement officers. Lead UDP Senator Michael Perfit raised concerns over the definitions of certain offenses outlined in the legislation, such as indecent words and behavior. NGO Senator Janelle Chinona also weighed in on the proposed amendment. These contributions prompted a response from Senator Eamon Courtney. Here is how that discussion played out.
I have great issue with the Summary Jurisdiction Amendment. If you read it carefully, Madam President, what this is saying pretty much is that I don't even have to threaten a public officer. I don't even have to threaten a peace officer. All that peace officer has to do is determine that what I say, as well in my own yard, amongst my friends drinking rum, that I can go to jail for that. And that, Madam President, is what I find completely and utterly unacceptable. Madam President, it says any person who uses, and I'm reading from the new section 4A, any person who uses any threatening, okay, fine, abusive, okay, profane, obscene, and this is where you really lose me, indecent, because then, Madam President, who defines indecent? What might be indecent for you might not be indecent for me, especially if I'm in my home, if I'm in my yard.
We fully support the direction of this bill, but call out that I don't know if this is perhaps the open and shut to it, and I know we have some other pieces of legislation in the works, but certainly we would signal that sexual harassment as a whole, which does not exist currently, should definitely be treated with the seriousness that it deserves. And I think, as was stated earlier, it is also critically important to define what is meant by terms, because what I may consider sexual harassment is not necessarily what others will consider sexual harassment, and what is indecent and what is culturally tolerated, if not encouraged behavior, is so intrinsic sometimes we lose sight of what that is, and that becomes blurred.
What Senator Perfit described, his example of having a barbecue, drinking with his friends, behaving the way he usually behaves, he would be guilty of an offense today. Now let us look at what the bill proposes to do, Madam President. It says, first of all, we are going to repeal the provision that I just read. Now recall what I read. The law as it stands today does not have any category, does not have any class. It says anybody who do their things and anybody hear it, anywhere, it's an offense. There is now these limiting words. If you do it within the hearing of a person acting as a judicial officer and legal officer or a peace officer. So it has to be not a police officer walking down the road. He has to be performing his functions. And this happens. Then an offense is committed.
An amendment to the Families and Children Act, stemming from a recent High Court ruling, seeks to mandate that a grandfather care for his grandchildren if the father of that child neglects his responsibility. The proposed amendment caused a great deal of concerns and questions among senators. Several parliamentarians referred to the proposed amendment as unfair. Here is how that debate played out.
In respect of the grandchild, it is only where the father or mother of the child is ill, cannot be located, or are unable to maintain themselves. So, a father must maintain his child. With respect to the grandchildren, that obligation rests on the mother and father to maintain that child. However, if that mother or father is ill, cannot be located, or unable to maintain themselves, then the father, the grandfather, obligation to maintain is imposed. Madam President, this comes out of a decision of the Supreme Court, and so the law is being clarified that the obligation of the grandfather is not forever and always. It is only if the parent cannot maintain the child in these circumstances.
According to this, I have a child. And Madam President, no matter how hard some parents try, sometimes your children don't turn out the way they should turn out. It's very unfortunate. So now me know, I'm 85 years old, and I can only run 5 miles a day as opposed to the 10 that I run today. I'm receiving a pension and small social security. And my son, who is not able to maintain himself, has 3-4 children that he doesn't maintain. That falls on me as an elderly grandfather with limited means. You get to the same problem. How can you expect people to take on the responsibilities of another human being? You know, Madam President, the great dealer, once you coined a phrase, like he's the first person I heard it from actually. If you dead, then I'll bury me, know.
When you get into the issue of fairness, to segue from Senator Herrera's comments, then it also raises a dynamic of, well, for the state and for the taxpayer, is it quote unquote fair that children are born to the mercy of the world, abandoned by everybody, and then the taxpayer has to then meet the needs of those children? I have stood in this honorable house before and said we don't talk about sex. And it is a national fact that men and women are having sex and having children, and it is costing us in multiple ways. We spoke earlier about keeping children in school, the trauma of some of these experiences, these homes that these children are coming from, because they are born into relationships to create a financial tie to a man. Men who have 30 children, 45 children.
The government of Belize is changing the mandatory school age from 14 to 16 years old. An amendment to the education rules was passed in the House of Representatives and debated in the Senate this morning. The primary objective of the change is to decrease the nation's school dropout rate and increase enrollment in primary and high school. The amendment was supported by the Senate, but some senators had reservations about its implementation.
This amendment, from our side, we welcome it because as a developing nation such as Belize, these changes are needed, especially if we want to build a great foundation for education, right? We need to increase the captured audience that we can use through the education system to get them into schools. However, I would like the government to take into consideration various things before we move forward with this great effort. It needs to be pushed forward. What has the government taken into consideration the additional resources that are needed to ensure that this is effective and that we are able to capture these students that we now have? We have to take into consideration that we do not have enough schools. We have dilapidated schools. We do not have sufficient teachers. We need now new psychosocial support for these additional students that will be in these classrooms.
We believe that the moving the age from 14 to 16 is good. It's good for the country because we are looking at ensuring that more of our students or more of our population has a certain level of education that they can function well in society. And that is always a good thing because we want our people to be, educated. However, these things do come with setbacks. As a teacher of 38 years, I understand and I have seen where we have students who remain in our primary school system, for example, for longer than they should. So if we have that the primary school age would be 14, at 14 the child, we don't have to keep the child in school anymore. We do have a few students who are older than 14 in the primary school system. These students are mostly students who are not particularly academically inclined.
I listened to Senator Swaza earlier, and about his comments, he made some valid comments, but it also makes me wonder as a young person where he's at, because him and I are from the South, Madam President, Stan Creek and Toledo, and just at his backyard, Madam President, if he would at least do his research before coming here to ask about these resources. In the last budget, we approved monies for what we call the Education Upliftment Program, or what we refer to as the free education. In his backyard at the Lille Academy, Madam President, that program has enrolled. In his backyard again, Georgetown Technical High, Madam President, that free education is also rolling. At the IT vet, just in November, the Prime Minister announced that they will be investing $1.3 million at the IT vet in Stan Creek.
We're moving up, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're staying on track, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nos mantenemos las calles limpias, yeah. Haciendo cambios en el país. Mantenerse en el buen camino. Necesitamos trabajar juntos. Lo que quieres y necesitas, el partido para la gente, haciendo un mejor Belice, yeah, yeah, yeah. PUP cambiando vida.
Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando. Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando.
Todos juntos nos seguimos avanzando, trabajando en la comunidad, nos seguimos avanzando. Todos juntos nos seguimos avanzando, trabajando en la comunidad, todos ganamos. We're looking forward into the future, no turning back. We're staying on track. What a beautiful sight to see. We uplifting the whole country. One PUP canopy. A PUP for every village, city and town. PUP cambiando vida.
Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando. Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando.
Nos mantenemos las calles limpias, yeah, haciendo cambios en el país. Mantenerse en el buen camino. Necesitamos trabajar juntos. PUP, lo que quieres y necesitas, el partido para la gente, haciendo un mejor Belice, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lo seguimos trabajando juntos, avanzando. Lo seguimos Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
February is all about Honda. Get special pricing and discounts on all Honda products. Enjoy up to 24% off select Honda products and 20% off Honda parts. And don't forget your B-Bucks whenever you make your purchase. There will also be a bike rally throughout the streets of Blue Creek and Belize City on February 3rd and 10th respectively. All participants will get a free oil change. Check out our Facebook page for more details. Love your Honda. It's all about deals and discounts on Honda products throughout the month of February. Only at Benquip Equipment Parts Service.
Good morning, students. Welcome to the Venice Belize Hurricanes Academy Class 101. My name is Professor Cut 5. Now, in last week's class, it seems that the Tiger Shark students did not learn anything from last year. I'm hoping in this week's edition that the Orange Walk Running Rebels bring their notepad. Class is now in session.
They're playing basketball.
This Friday, February 9, the Belize Civic Center will be jumping once again as your three-time and defending champion of the BEBL, Venice Belize Hurricanes, led by their sizzling six, Lenzi Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Tyree Orozco, Jamel Harris, the African Burama Sidibe, and the three-point boss, Amar Ross, goes up against the Orange Walk Running Rebels, who have been talking smack lately. And it's time that the three-time champion Venice Belize Hurricanes
all on the floor.
Gates open at 7 p.m. Entertainment commences from 8 with the Minorite Band, and then at 9 p.m. it's the Hurricanes versus Running Rebels.
One team, one big family.
Bring out the entire family this Friday night to the Belize Civic Center as your defending champion, Venice Belize Hurricane, takes center stage. Hey, primary and high schoolers, don't forget to bring out your posters and banners for the $1,000 competition. Then, of course, there's the Hopkins Hamanasi Resort First 5 contest for firms, family, and friends, valued at $5,000.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family. Belize Hurricane. Hurricanes are one big.
Aren't you tired of all the talking? No doubt he got that from Daddy Dean. Mr. Glitter and no substance. For 13 years, the UDP ignored our health system. And now they have all the answers. Did you know that national health insurance was stagnant under the UDP? Did you know that many NHI facilities closed down under the UDP? No growth in 13 years. 13 years. Since 2020, NHI has added lab and imaging services. Since 2020, NHI has upgraded all its existing facilities. Since 2020, NHI has rolled out to Orange Walk and is now rolling out to the entire Belize district, including San Pedro and Keycocker. This PUP government did that. In March, we keep moving forward. In March, we to stay on track with the PUP.
These are the days of Elijah.
But he shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come upon you. And he shall be witness unto me in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. Acts 1:8. The Belize District Council presents Pentecost in Belize 2024. 2 nights and a day of praise and worship, fellowship, and the anointed sharing of the Word of God by local and international speakers. All are welcome to attend as we bask in the presence of the one who created us. Pentecost in Belize will be held on the 8th to the 10th February 2024, starting at 7:30 p.m. on the 8th and 9th February and 10 a.m. on the 10th February 2024, to be held at the Best Western Plus Belize Bitman Plaza. See you and your family at Pentecost in Belize 2024. For more information, call 637-3106.
You may know them for various meat products, but Quality would like to remind you that these days they have much more to offer than just poultry. Quality Foods restaurant and store located in San Ignacio has a selection that ranges from groceries to pastries, drinks to deli meats, and so much more. Today we stopped by their store and restaurant to get a better idea of what it's all about. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with that story.
Quality Food Supermarket and Quality Express opened their doors in November 2023 and has since prided itself in being the one-stop shop for all your needs. Located at the corner of Branchmouth Road and Joseph Andrews Drive in San Ignacio, this store delivers on convenience, cost, and of course, quality.
It's a fairly new business that we opened in San Ignacio, so it's a two-part operation. So we have Quality Foods, which is a distributor of quality poultry products. So the idea is when people hear the name Quality Poultry Products, they only think chicken. And that has been going on. We've been in the industry for over 47 years. So some people only associate the name Quality Poultry with chicken. So what we're trying to do in San Ignacio is we're trying to move away from that. And so we have named the grocery store Quality Foods.
Whether you're searching for a familiar favorite or you fancy something foreign, Quality Foods has got it too. With an array of locally sourced vegetables and meats, you can create a meal you'll be proud to serve at your family's table.
One thing that a lot of people don't know about Quality Poultry is that we don't do a high profit margin on most of our items. So for instance, all our grains, it's priced really low, and that's rice, beans, flour, sugar, because again, when you think of a Sunday dinner, you think rice and beans and your chicken. So of course we have the chicken here, so why not make some of the items affordable? So yes, compared to the grocery stores in San Ignacio, we are more than competitive and we're more than affordable.
And if you're feeling peckish while you shop, Quality Foods has a solution. Their in-house deli is stocked with delicious meats and cheeses that a chef will turn into a sub right before your eyes.
First of its kind, of course, in any one of the Quality Poultry stores. So we decided to do something a little bit different. So we wanted to showcase more Belizean products, and so we have a wide variety of cheeses from different producers in Belize. Cave Branch, I don't know if you know, but Cave Branch produces locally made cheese. So we have cheese from Cave Branch. As well, hams, we do have locally produced hams. And the entire idea with the deli is we wanted it to be that you can come and you can choose what type of ham you want specifically and what quantity you want.
The deli also offers a variety of freshly made baked goods, such as meat pies, patties, and sausage rolls. For those with a sweet tooth, Quality Foods also offers baked goods delivered fresh every day.
We do have a wide variety of pastries, including cheesecakes, different variety of cheesecakes, some lemon pies, bread puddings. And another good thing about Quality Poultry San Ignacio is that same thing, we have suppliers that come in every day that brings brownies, cupcakes, and they're also seasonal. So when it was Christmas, we had Christmas cakes, and we had the black cakes and the regular white cake. So same thing for Valentine's, we have Valentine's cake. And of course, we're budget friendly.
And the day doesn't have to end when you've completed your grocery shopping. You and your family can head next door to Quality Express. With seating capacity for over 250 persons, Quality Express is prepared to serve your family, no matter how big or small.
What makes us stand out from any other restaurant here in Belize and San Ignacio is that most of the quality poultry chains, we have a drive-through. So this building as well in San Ignacio, we do have a drive-through here. So again, we're all for convenience. We're all about family. We're all about, whatever lifestyle, quality lifestyle.
Quality Express brings out all when it comes to chicken. From wings to burgers, quesadillas, salads, and even locally sourced chicken pepperoni pizza. They've got it all. And with a selection of desserts such as soft serve ice cream and freshly baked cookies, and a playground located just outside, Quality Express is the perfect place for every child.
So we have a soft-serve ice cream machine. So we have different flavors of ice cream, and it's available daily. And it's not the same flavor that's available every week, right? So you come this week, maybe we have cheesecake. Next week we'll have chocolate, right? But we always have vanilla, right? As well, with the ice cream, you can make a sundae. We make sundaes, so you can just ask the cashiers and they will let you know what specific sundae we have available. Sometimes we have Oreo. So it all depends on what your preference is. Another thing about Chicken Express, besides making freshly food, is that every day we make fresh cookies. So every day you come in and you get freshly baked cookies available at Chicken Express San Ignacio. Actually, next week we're going to be introducing a soda fountain machine as well.
And no matter how many items are introduced, quality wouldn't be quality without their chicken.
What we do in all quality poultry countrywide is that we have something called mix and match. So what that is that if you purchase 25 pounds of any chicken products, you get the wholesale price, right? So the wholesale price is a discount of the normal price, right? And it's a significant discount. So you mix it to what you want, and as long as it reaches the 25 pounds, then the system automatically gives you the wholesale price for those chicken items, right? And that also goes for our processed products, because again, a lot of people don't know that quality poultry, we do make sausages. So we have habanero sausage, we have smoked sausage, we have breakfast sausage, we have chicken ham slices, we have turkey ham slices. So again, we do offer a wide array of products, but it's just that a lot of people don't know what we have.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
A man who was caught stealing several items inside Simon Kwan's store on Queen Street was ordered to pay 30 times the cost of the 2 items he stole after he pleaded guilty to the offense. 35-year-old Rashan Kadim Castillo, an unemployed person of a Holy Emmanuel Street address in Belize City, was arraigned this morning in the Belize City Magistrates Court on Coney Drive on a charge of theft. Allegations are that on Wednesday, Castillo took a pack of chocolates valued less than $5 and a pair of reading glasses, also worth less than $5. The magistrate imposed a fine of $300 plus $5 cost of court. The store owner reported that on Wednesday evening, sometime after 6, he was working at the cash register inside the establishment when he was alerted by one of his employees that there was someone shoplifting in the store. The store's security guard searched the man and found the stolen items tucked under his shirt in his pants waist. Castillo has until April 30th to pay the fine, or he will spend 3 months in prison. A man was fined today for consuming alcoholic drinks in a public space. 25-year-old Francisco Torres pleaded guilty to public drinking after he was caught drinking a beer in public. The incident happened on January 28th on West Canal. In court, Torres wasted no time to plead guilty to the charge and picked up a fine of $30 plus $5 cost of court. Torres has until March 12th to pay the fine, or he will spend a week at the Belize Central Prison. When we return, climate change and its effects on agriculture.
$2,251,000 slices of watermelon are eaten by tourists each year in Belize, benefiting local farmers and processors directly. Tourism means business.
Bernard Wagner cannot pick up the garbage. He cannot fix the streets. He cannot maintain the drains.
We have to do a better job maintaining the drains.
He cannot even pay city council workers.
The other day, we had to bail out the Belize City Council. They were short of $100,000. They could not pay their salaries, and central government paid them.
But he can spend almost $250,000 on a concert, most of it on a foreign artist, and find it funny.
I like Rongdong.
Okay. Nobody elected Wagner and the PUP Council to throw concerts. They were elected to fix the streets, maintain the drains, and keep the city clean. If they cannot do the job they were elected for, then they should follow the advice of Abelardo Mai.
Find something else to do.
And Belize City voters must heed the advice of Wagner's own deputy.
We need to go a different direction. The city needs a breath of fresh air, needs new leadership.
The city needs new leadership. The country needs new leadership. The time is now.
The Social Security Board, in collaboration with the Labor Department, takes this opportunity to remind insured persons of the requirements for compensation when on sick leave. Any employee who has worked with an employer for at least 2 months is entitled to 16 working days of sick leave with full pay every year. This is how it works. Upon approval of a sickness or injury benefit claim by SSD, 80% of the employee's weekly insurable earnings is paid as a Social Security benefit, and the difference in the employee's salary is paid by the employer. This is to ensure that the employee does not suffer any loss of wages when ill. After 16 days, compensation for sick leave is paid as a Social Security benefit only. Some conditions apply. This message is brought to you by the Social Security Board and the Labor Department. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
We love our cars. They take us where we need to go and allow us to explore, work, and even make memories. RFNG Insurance prides itself in offering coverage options for you. We are pleased to reintroduce our Super Act policy. Drive with confidence, knowing that you are protected on both public and private roads. Experience outstanding service and reliable protection that is tailored to your budget. WhatsApp us at 670-8700 or visit an agent near you to learn more. Remember, it pays to get it right with RFNG Insurance, a Road Group company.
These are the facts. Through the Belize Education Upliftment Project, the government has provided free education to 3,166 students in 9 secondary schools. This includes tuition and all fees. The government provides uniforms, a healthy meal, and transportation to these students. In June 2024, 12 more schools in Belize will benefit from totally free education. The ministry, through the Connect Ed program, has also provided 197 school sites with high-speed internet access. This has directly benefited more than 66,000 students and almost 4,000 faculty and staff. The work by this government is impacting lives. When we provide access to education and the tools to enhance that education, we build a stronger nation. Let them know.
Tell them we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track, we stay on track.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
For 13 years under the Party of Talk, there was a drought, and our farmers suffered. There was no vision, no plan, no help for those who work to feed this nation, just incompetence and greed. The worst drought in the history of Belize, thanks to the UDP. And then everything changed. The borders were opened, and markets found for our cattle farmers. The Big Falls rice mill was reopened, providing jobs for our people, and 2,000 small farmers received grants and technical assistance through a program called Sembrando Vida. Today, our farmers know they are appreciated. They know that they are valued. Do you know why? Because of this PUP government, which works. Let's keep moving forward. In March, in every municipality, we to stay on track with the PUP.
Climate change has become a relevant topic to people in every walk of life in recent years. It has an impact on our daily lives and in almost every field of work that we engage in. Agriculture is no exception to the effects of climate change. Hence, learning new ways of adapting to these impacts and using different or enhanced methods of farming are key to our survival moving forward. In this week's edition of Belize on Real, we take a closer look at the agriculture sector and how we adapt to the changing climate.
The agriculture industry is one of the main pillars of the Belizean economy.
It has an estimated annual output of about 590 million Belize dollars, which represent about 80% of the domestic exports. Agriculture in its whole employs about 17% or close to 18% of the Belizean population. Agriculture is critical to foreign exchange, food security, employment, and therefore we should not take it for granted.
Indulging in a tasty piece of sugar cane, cutting into a succulent pork chop, or slurping down a refreshing watermelon juice. These are the pleasures that we reap from Belize's food security in basic grains, livestock, seasonal vegetables, and fruits, making the country all the more vulnerable to the impacts of climate change.
There are basic threats that affect agriculture production. Threats such as climate variability, pests and diseases, and also external market forces which can actually affect the production of agriculture in Belize.
The climates are changing every day. We can expect rain or sunny day at every time. Well, last year we had some loss in this area. We had like 2 acres of onion, and it caused a big damage.
Anytime we talk about climate change, people want to think a lot of rain, or climate change. It could be a lot of sun, and a very intense summer, and could be a very intense weather. So we have to prepare.
Over the past decade, the effects of the changing climate, including extended droughts followed by months of heavy downpour, have impacted production in the agriculture industry. While some have been able to adapt and mitigate the effects, other agriculturalists have had to close down, causing mass unemployment and loss of industry. Take Fruta Bomba, for example.
Government was verbally informed by the CEO of the company that they had taken a decision to close operation in Belize, and that they were hoping for a smooth transition, and that the wind down of the company's operation in Belize should be between 3 to 6 months. They've stated that they've never been able to recover fully from the 2007 Hurricane Dean, and that they've been losing money since then. And well, it's come to a point where they've decided to exit Belize.
If we can recall back all the way to 2016, The sector suffered immense losses from Hurricane Earl, which set us back close to 77 million Belize dollars. Fast forward to 2019, we had the extended drought period that affected primarily the northern, central, and western part of our country. And that cost the agriculture sector close to 79 million Belize dollars. Recently, last year, we had Hurricane Eta and Hurricane Iota, which caused flooding in the productive areas, primarily areas in the western part of the country and likewise the central part, Belize district. And that set us back close to 15 million Belize dollars. So if you can see, when we were affected by these natural hazards, the country is placed at a setback. And there is also a multiplier effect as it impacts what we call food production, as it relates to providing food to the domestic market. It impacts foreign exchange because then production is not steady and it cannot go out the country. And there's a reduction in local consumption, feed for animals, and also food for human consumption.
Though threatened by the impacts of climate change, the sector also contributes to the issue by emitting greenhouse gas through the use of harvesting machinery in the agro-productive sector. Soil tillage also results in the release of carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxides from the soil. While there are some that have turned to green energy by the use of solar panels, there are several practices that the ministry is implementing with large and small-scale farmers.
No-till agriculture simply means keeping the crop residue on the land and leaving the earth largely undisturbed during planting. Another one that we discuss with farmers and we see them doing it is what we call the use of cover crop or green manure. Seeds or plants such as mucuna or canavalia, those are a very good cover crop. They provide a substantial amount of nitrogen to the soil, and these are planted with the intent to prevent soil erosion.
Farmers are adapting with assistance from the government of Belize and partner agencies.
The National Climate Change Office has played a significant role in assisting the sector, especially in education awareness to climate change, adaptation, and mitigation. They also play a considerable role in helping the ministry source external funding for development of climate adaptation and mitigation projects.
Up next, will Belizeans in the diaspora ever be able to vote?
$1,067,700 slices of bacon are eaten by tourists each year, stimulating our local economy. Tourism means business.
In its Plan Belize agenda, the PUP committed to provide opportunities for deserving Belizeans to own a home. Within a year, the PUP through the MIDH delivered its first starter homes. To date, hundreds of homes have been handed out all across the country. One housing community is complete, and others are being constructed, including a community for public officers in Belmopan. The government has also financed the National Bank of Belize and the DFC, so Belizeans can access mortgages and build their homes. We are committed to our people, and we continue the work of building Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
Belize, Darasaba Home Theater and Red Stripe present the official 20th annual tribute and concert to the late great Bob Marley. This event to be held on Sunday, February 11th at the Big Bird's Isle from 4 p.m. until. Entertainment include live DVD performance of Bob Marley on the big screen, live band performance by Family Fusion Band with selectors Tony G, Mad Rackamos, DJ Dalla, Soldier Sound, and DJ Wiz, all backed up by Silver Fox Sounds.
Love to see when you
Entrance fee, only $10. Bring out the entire family. Sponsored by Steve Benedict Auto Sales, Crime Television and Crime Radio, Vibes Media Radio and TV, Leslie's Imports, Channel 7, Channel 5, Wave Radio and Television, The Angeles Press Limited, Digi Wallet, Honorable Anthony Mahler and Belize Tourism Board, Love FM, Caribbean Shipping Agencies Limited, Red Stripe, and Campari.
Whenever the PUP is in charge, there is always mismanagement, and the people of Punta Gorda know this all too well. This time around, it is the PUP councillors themselves who blew the whistle on their own mayor.
DG town councillors alleged money mismanagement within their own council.
This is signed by 5 town councillors saying that there are financial irregularities in our council.
They have now switched from Charles Salgado to Carlos Obia. But this is the same Carlos Obia Galvez who was in charge in 2008 when town councillors claimed the PUP mayor we have has been mismanaging our funds, and he has been spending our money as if it is his own personal money. The mayor has run up our overdraft to 33,000, and the capacity approved by the Ministry of Finance for us at the bank is 15,000. They further accused Obia Galvez of racking up an excessive $4,000 fuel bill, almost a fifth of their monthly subvention, in just over a month, allegedly for use in his private taxi and tour business. And they claim Galvez's wife had signed for fuel on the council's account, which Galvez eventually acknowledged. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Punta Gorda has had enough of the PUP. It is time to elect Franklin Cranca Polonio and the UDP team. Belize is always better with the United Democratic Party.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected. We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
A major focus of the PUP's Plan Belize agenda was citizen safety and national security. This government ensured that our police and BDF could add to their numbers. New recruits were properly vetted and trained and are now working to serve and protect. With a focus on community policing and law enforcement, in 2023, the murder rate was the lowest it has been in over a decade. This government has provided proper working conditions for our security forces, renovated and built new buildings for our police, and renovated our BDF camps, which had been neglected for years. We're now building a new state-of-the-art base at Sarstoon, so our soldiers can safely and comfortably defend our sovereignty. We're committed to our people and committed to Belize. In March, let us continue to move forward. Stay on track with the PUP.
With the ongoing elections in El Salvador, Belize has set up a polling station to accommodate Salvadorans living outside of their home country. With this in mind, the question was raised as to whether or not Belizeans living abroad will ever be afforded the same right. Here's what Foreign Minister Francis Fonseca had to say on the matter.
I think, that was something the government of Salvador, obviously they have the legal authority to have Salvadorians who live outside of their country vote. That's established by law in Salvador. And so when that request came to Belize, we were obliged to support and help them to carry that out. We have not reached that point in Belize. I think it's a good issue for discussion, whether we want Belizeans in the diaspora to participate in elections. I think now that we're going through the process of reviewing the Constitution, the PCC process, I think that's an ideal opportunity for us to discuss an issue like this one. I think it's definitely something worthy of debate, worthy of discussion. And at the end of the day, I think it's something we can look at. But we're not there yet. In the case of Salvador, they already have that as a part of their law. We are not at that point yet. So, as I said, this represents, I think the PCC represents an opportunity for us to have that in discussion. And perhaps coming out of this PCC process, that is something that Belize may want to do. But let's see what comes out of the process.
For years, Belizeans have had to travel to Mexico in order to apply for a Schengen visa, which is a permit allowing visitors to enter the Schengen region, which comprises of 27 European countries. The question of whether or not Belizeans will ever be allowed a waiver of this visa was posed to Minister of Foreign Affairs, Francis Fonseca. Here was his response.
Yeah, no, we haven't let up on that issue. Even in some initial meetings that I've had with, representatives of the EU and other institutions, we are emphasizing the importance of that issue to Belize. So no, we won't let up on that issue. Our ambassador in Brussels has that charge as a priority issue for us. So we will continue to engage with them. Every opportunity I get to speak with representatives of countries in the EU, we raise that issue and explain to them how critically important it is for Belize. So, next week I have another meeting with the EU, or later this week, I think on Friday, and I will bring that issue up again. So we will continue to work very aggressively on that issue.
Push for as well in your capacity as Minister of Education, given that it will open studying opportunities for students abroad as well?
Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely one of the benefits of the visa program and having that visa waiver. It presents so many opportunities. Education is one, obviously economic opportunities as well. There's so many benefits to it. And we certainly hope that we can advance that issue and that Belize will be included, if not this year, next year. So something we will continue to work on.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.